Let's talk about how to maximize player potential in college football 25. If y'all enjoyed the content, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, man. Appreciate y'all for watching. Alright, man, for this, we made a coach build that is only centered around player development, man. So we went master, motivator, and then also we went into talent developer. I wish we could have got into the archetype a little bit, but just wasn't in the playing cards. Let's get into it and show y'all what we did here, and then we also going to advance and see how much some of our players actually progress, man. All right, so come in here to Master Motivator. We got every single one of these base levels on Tier 3. Tier 3 is when you get that off-season training boost, and it's the only way to get an off-season training boost in this game is with this motivator right here. So this is very useful. All of the other Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3, in my opinion, I don't care nothing about. I only care about Tier 3 for this motivator. And then we came in here for the master motivator, and these are actually useful. You know, at least the Tier 3, once again, increase for all positions, or excuse me, all wide receivers and tight end, but every single one, starter, bench, every single one get this boost. So, but these are expensive, man. It costs 8 coins each. So we went with O-line, we maxed out the O-line, then just because we had some extra hours, we maxed out O-line, then everywhere else we went 3. You could switch it out. You don't have to go, I didn't go running back and linebacker. Those are, in my opinion, the least important positions. But if you don't want to go D-line, if you want to go running back, whatever, do what's going to fit for you. But you can't do everything, man. You can't get every single thing just because it's so expensive. But we did it for quarterback, D-line, defensive backs, wide receiver, and then O-line. In my opinion, those are the most important. Then we came over here to talent developer. Went crazy with this. This is also expensive. It costs 8 each. But we had to make sure we got talent developer. And we wanted to get mainly that Tier 3 and that Tier 4 ability, man. Lower rated quarterbacks will progress faster. We love that. Then also starting quarterbacks would gain XP faster. So we did that for the quarterbacks, D-line, linebacker, defensive backs, wide receiver, and O-line. So this is going to allow our players to develop crazy. They would develop crazy, man. The only issue with this build, my only issue with it, is I wish I could have got into the architect just to get the tier 2 ability where you get the chance to randomly increase skill caps, and then also the Tier 3 ability where you get that winning streak, you get that little XP bonus. That's also very useful. But man, just way too expensive, man. Way too expensive when, you know, also to come in here, everything costs 8. So just couldn't get it for this build. If you want to, the only way we really could have did it if we didn't go into the master motivator, then we could have went into the architect. That is an option. You could very well do that. Then we had to go in here. We had to upgrade the recruiter. Had to put 25 points in the recruiter to get the talent developer. So we just put some hours on pretty much the base level Tier 1 just so we're able to scout a little bit faster. But that's kind of the build. Now let's do some simming and let's really understand how much of a boost we're going to get with this ability. I want y'all to keep in mind when you're in here at looking at the Tier 3, increase all XP gains for quarterback. It is going to be best if you're playing the games, man. Compared to simulation, we're simming in this video, so it's going to be a little bit different compared to if you actually play every game, you running up stats, whatever. So that's one thing just to keep in mind when you're looking at some of these, you know, Tier 3 and some of these abilities. And then also Archetype. I do believe Archetype is going to be better than Master Motivator and then even Talent Developer. I think Archetype is the best in the game, but for this, we wanted to test out Motivator and Talent Developer as a combination. So that's why we did not go into architect. All right, first person I want to focus on is going to be this cornerback who is a sophomore, 77 overall. He'll be a starter for us. His skill caps are not great, but he could become a lot better player just through development. He will be a starter. Then I also want to focus on a guy like this, Dave, 94 overall cornerback. Remember, they should just progress. He should progress for just being on the team, even though he's not playing. Lower rated players are supposed to progress, so this should be one of them. So he's a 66 overall right now, and the other guy's a 77, so let's keep that in mind. Another guy in the secondary we want to focus on is going to be Matthew. He's a 77 overall freshman coming in, and he pretty much has some solid, he could get a lot better. He's a freshman, obviously. Skill caps is not great, but he could become a much better player. He got normal development as well. All right, ignore the fact that we only have 4 wide receivers on our whole entire roster. Auto recruiting be bugging. They be tripping out. I don't know what they be doing. But we got a guy right here, Sydney, 65 overall wide receiver, who is going to be star development, 3-star, and cap breakers is not great, but he can become a lot better as he's only starting off as a 65. It's going to be another player we focus on. And then the last players I want to focus on is going to be Emmanuel, a right end. He's going to be a junior, 82 overall, and his cap breakers is not great, but he could get better. Impact development. And then also we're gonna come down here and Martin Webb is another D lineman who is a 66 overall, normal development, 3-star. Cap breakers is not great, but another player that can get better by the end of the season. Now let's advance pretty much to the end of the season. All right, so we advanced to the end of the season. Let's quickly just come in here and look at some of the players that we was looking at and see how they progress. I'm not expecting too much progression. I'm expecting more at the end of the season once we actually, do the actual player progression. But it is going to be good to see how some of these players went up in overall during the season. So our wide receiver, he went up to a 66 overall. He from Philadelphia. Shout out Philadelphia, man. So he went up 1 overall. Not great. Come over here to the defensive lineman. Let's see, we had 2 D linemen. This one, Emmanuel, he went up 2 overalls at an 84. And then Webb did not go up in overall. He did not play. He's a redshirt candidate. Next, let's go over here to the cornerbacks. And we also had 2 of these guys. We have David right here who went up 3 overalls, which is very good. Someone going up 3 overalls during the season is actually very good in my opinion. And then Dave did not go up in overall, another guy that did not play the whole season. But now we get to the point where we can actually advance to the off season and we can actually go through the training. And then we're going to do another simulation. Don't upgrade our coach, and we just sim through the training and see how much they progress. All right, so we advanced to training results, and let's come in here and look at our players. First, the wide receiver. First of all, auto recruiting, what are we doing, man? We still ain't signed any receivers, but our guy, he did jump up to a 71 overall from a 66. That is pretty good player progression. Pretty good. Not amazing, but it is good. He's damn near maxed out his cats, man. He could only be like a 77 overall player in total, which is not great for him. With star development, not great. Don't like that. But come over here to our D lineman. This is where we're going to see a good boost. So this guy, he went up 1 overall. Emmanuel. 1 overall, he went up 3 overalls, no, 2 overalls during the season, and then 1 overall during the off-season training. But the one thing that really stands out is going to be Martin Webb, who went up 11 overalls this offseason, man. 11 overalls, and he was a lower overall player, man. 66 goes up to a 77. That is amazing to see. Amazing to see. Next week over here to our cornerback. And Dalvin did not go up from the season. He went up 3 overalls during the season. He stays at an 80 overall. But look at the other guy, Dave, the lower overall guy. He jumps all the way up to a 79. And now he's usable as a freshman. He was a 66 overall before, man. He goes all the way up to a 79. He's damn near one of our best corners with the highest speed out there as well. And now he's going to be a very good player for us. And he's usable, at least. Alright, man, so this is going to be the file where we did not upgrade our coach points. As you see in the top right corner, we have all 495. So we're going to come in here to the actual team, and let's make our way over to wide receiver, which is going to be our first guy. And Sydney did not go up in overall at all, man. He stayed at a 65 during the last version where we actually upgraded our coach. He went up 1 overall to a 66, which is not a huge difference, but it is 1 overall difference. For the defensive line, our guy Emmanuel, he went up 3 overalls this time, so 1 higher than last time when we actually upgraded our coach. For Webb, he did not go up in overall once again, stayed at a 66. Now for the cornerbacks, this is where it gets interesting. This guy, he went up 3 overalls last time. This time, did not go up at all, stayed at a 77. So 3 overall difference for this guy. Then Dave, who did not play, also did not go up in overall. Both situations happened exactly the same. So now we're going to advance all the way to the offseason, to the point where offseason training happens at, and we're going to compare that as well. All right, so we advanced to the end of the season, and we seen what happened during the season. When we upgraded our coach, it did a lot better, pretty much with, actually having in-season progression. Now we get to off-season training, and I already looked at it. I think one thing this really is going to show you guys how random all-season training is, man. It is super random. In-season training, I think it has a lot to do with stats. Off-season, Man, it is super random. So our guy, he went up to an 81 overall, 10 overalls higher than last version, 10 overalls higher. He started off as a 66 overall. He's all the way up to an 81 after the boost. Is that not insane? Like, off-season training is actually random as hell. Now let's look at the D-line. This guy, Emmanuel, he went up. He's all the way up to an 89 this time. He's at an 85 during off-season, or during the regular season. He went up 4 more overalls to an 89 overall, and he progressed way better than last time. All-season training is random. That is the theme here, man. Now look at our guy Martin Webb. He went up to a 78 overall, which is also very good progression for him, which is one higher than he went up last time. He started off as a 66, going all the way up to a 78. Off-season training is random. Now let's look at the cornerbacks. Dalvin went up 3 overalls this time. He ended the season as a 77. He went up to an 80 overall after the season, which is similar to last time where he ended at an 80 overall. Now let's look at Dave. He did not progress as well. He only went up to a 75. Last time he went all the way up to a 78. So progression did not do him justice this time. Like I said, it is super random. Why? I don't really know. Or excuse me, last time he went to a 79, not even 78. So he went up less. It is super random when it comes to this off-season progression. Your best bet is going for the in-season goals, man. This is the theme of this video. Go for the in-season progression, because the off-season is just super random, man. It's going to be different every single time. But if y'all like this video, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, man. Appreciate y'all for watching. We on to the next one.